So probably people are going to be like, Elizabeth, why do you look like crap? Why have you been crying? I've been sick for the past few weeks. Been very sick. My kidneys have been very sick. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. Because when you're poverty level poor, but right on the line, people like to play with you. And I find this very interesting. And I'm just kind of putting this here. Number one, to let someone else know if you're struggling, hi Gypsy, if you're struggling with a state or federal healthcare issue, number one, you have my condolences. Number two, don't back down. Because what I found out today blows my mind. I'm gonna give you a backstory so you know what's going on. And if you know anyone else in this situation scenario, oh my gosh, link us up. Hi Cindy, because I want to know if anyone else is going through this, because I'm really ready to like call somebody on the carpet. Like I'm done being nice. Now, operators are going to get much more language from me because I'm done. So I've been very sick the last week. I've managed to take care of it at home, but I've been very sick. And last month, as y'all know, last year, and when I left my work and had to retire, my health was so bad and I was in and out of the hospital, Medicaid came in and said, we'll pick you up with Medicare, because my husband's insurance at work was battling everything, and Medicaid was like, we'll cover this, we'll pick you up, because they're not going to play this. They're fighting the primary. Anyways, big hullabaloo. Eventually, what they all decided was I needed to request to be terminated from his insurance at his factory because it was not working with my Medicare, and they were not going to be happy together, and they were going to compete and fight over every bill, and stay on a Medicare-Medicaid combo. But then I got notified that I was being terminated from Medicaid. So I went, well, crap. I had to go immediately find a Plan G. I found Plan G through Aetna. It was very expensive, like close to $500 a month. But I was lucky because the Medicare Savings Plan was still covering me and paying for the $164 a month for Medicare. And so I was like, well, screw it. You got to do what you got to do. I've got to have health coverage. I've got to have the full coverage. So if I go to the hospital, we're not stuck with a huge bill. So screw it. I'm just going to pay this. So for over a year, I paid a little over $500 a month for my insurances. And I was fine. I was barely making ends meet, but we were trying. And I liked Aetna. They were great to me. Then last month, I get this letter in the mail that says it's time to renew your Medicaid. And I went, y'all terminated me last year. I don't have Medicaid anymore. Even though I thought it was weird that they terminated me during the pandemic when they said no one was being terminated. I got terminated. So I opened this letter. It's like, you need to do a Medicaid renewal application. I'm like, well, I called them and I was like, I got this application renewal notification, but y'all don't have Medicaid anymore. Y'all dumped me last year. And like, oh, no, ma'am. We retroactively reinstated you. What? We retroactively reinstated you. For what date? Oh, they can't tell me the exact date. It wasn't on the letter that they mailed, and the computer system has 3 different retroactively start dates, so they can't tell me that, which is number one red flag. But she's like, oh, yeah, we went back and picked you up. I got no notification. Well, you should have got notification, but it looks like you've been healthy this year. We haven't got any claims, because I didn't know I had it. I said, but what scares me even more is whether I knew I had it or not, it should have been affixed to my Social Security number. And when my doctors do their billing, that billing automatically seeks to see if they have other insurance options available that they're still registered with, or for billing, because billing can be a headache. So anything affixed to my Social should have popped up. It was not popping up Medicaid. So they were receiving federal funds from me, but I was not on the billable platform. So I couldn't access and use the Medicaid that I was supposed to have because, number one, I didn't know I had it. I thought it would have been terminated. And number two, they had not made it applicable for people to bill. So my doctor, home nurse, physical therapist, nobody knew. And I said, that's strange because I should have been on the billing platform. So I got a really nice first lady customer service, said, oh, shoot, we must have made a boo-boo. Honey, we're going to have to talk to Aetna. We're going to have to get all these bills between us and Aetna because we should have paid for all that. And then we need to get your premiums back because you should not have had to have paid out of pocket for anything, honey. We are so sorry. And I'm like, well, thank you. And I thought, this is okay. They're going to fix it. This is going to go great. No. I spent like 7 hours on the phone that day. The next day I spent 4.5. Every day they got less amicable and less helpful. To the point where they were hanging up on me. I had to go through the renewal process because everyone does every year, so no biggie, renew me. Sent everything in. Nothing has changed. So if I was applicable then, I should have been applicable now because there's been no changes in the guidelines. I thought it funny when they had all my taxes. They have accountability for every penny that went to my house last year. Everyone's information, all the vehicle information, everything. Then they call back and they said, well, we need an ATM statement with your amount on it today. And I said, listen, you can't just call a lady that can't get out and tell her you need it now. I said, because I can't do that. I said, and by law, is that not illegal to ask for that? Because you have accountability for every penny that went through my home last year. So you can just kind of divide it up and you know what I'm dealing with. And what I'm able to hang on to, it's none of y'all's business. As long as my annual income is within the guidelines. Oh, well, we've changed a few things. Contract and questionnaire looked pretty much the same to me. Then they start getting froggy. So I send everything in. It says also in my documents I need to upload the questionnaire. I call 3 times. 3 times I answer these questions. It takes me about an hour each time with 3 different operators. Finally, the third one says, yep, it took it. It's in there. You're good. I said, are you sure? I said, because it keeps telling me to upload it. She goes, don't worry about that. We've got it in there. You did your questionnaire verbally over the phone with us. She said, sorry, it took so many times, but it's in the system now. You're good. You don't have to upload that. I said, I don't. She goes, no, ma'am. I said, okay. She goes, we'll take care of it. Your renewal's on its way. And I said, okay, thank you. So I waited for about a week. Got notification. They said, you're denied and you're going to be terminated at the end of the month. Not only that, but we're going to terminate your Medicare savings plan. Okay, now I just feel like I'm a target. So what the hell? You know, I'm like, lightning gonna strike me next. Jesus, Lord, you know. So I let it die for a while because now I've had to call Aetna. Thank God they give me a 90-day guarantee. They're going to let me come back June 1st if I can't get all this figured out. So I've been sick for the last several days, very sick. As you can see from the way I look, I've been very sick. I don't care what I look like when I come on here because I'm telling you this information you guys. I don't care what the hell I look like. Anyway. I called Medicaid back today. And I said, are y'all still going to... I said, are you all still going to terminate my Medicare savings plan? They said, yes, ma'am. I said, I don't understand why. And I said, I think we need to appeal this. This is something that doesn't smell right. And I said, not only that, but I said, it still shows that my reason for being denied is missing documentation. Can you tell me what that documentation is? Now, the first time I asked that question, they told me it's because I hadn't provided the bank receipt. And I said, I argued with the first lady that told me it was about a bank receipt that y'all have accountability for every penny that goes to my home. You know my full family's income and how that relates to the poverty guidelines. I told you approximately what we try to keep in the bank account, even after the ins and outs. And even if I get a receipt, it's not going to be an accurate reading because I have checks out for bills, rather large bills, because I pay for a lot of insurance. And this lady said, oh, no, it wasn't for that. It was because it was missing the questionnaire. Change in responsibility, tactical maneuver. Red flag number 2. Missing the questionnaire. I did that 3 times with 3 operators, and the third one finally said, you don't have to worry about that. We've got it saved. Also was on recorded line 3 times. I said, so if that's the reason I'm being denied, it's dishonest, fraudulent, and possibly something I need to get an attorney for. So because that's not accurate. Hi, Ashley. Pocahontas and Cindy, everybody here. So today, I finally got them, after 3 phone calls, to start an appeal because people kept hanging up on me. They finally started an appeal. And I said, here's my beef. Here's my beef, y'all. They're saying because we don't spend our money on trash. And we might keep a little bit more in the bank than what they feel comfortable with most people keeping. I mean, when I say a little bit more, I mean like a couple hundred more. They're going to deny me insurance for a whole year and make me pay almost $700 out of pocket each month for just insurance premiums. But they can't give me a real reason why I was denied, which is why I've appealed. It seems to be they're doing some evasive maneuvers with the information I responded in my phone calls and my notes section and my profile where they dock all my calls and all the recordings and stuff like that. Not cool. Not cool. Don't play with that. Because if I can lie and go to the pokey, I'm sure somebody there can too. Just saying. So I'm sitting here trying to bare my soul and be honest, and this agency is running circles trying to basically cop out of their responsibility. And I'm like, dude, like, I know I'm applicable. I know and now you've called back and now a second operator is giving me a secondary reason why I wasn't accepted. It should be pretty much plain speech. It was one or the other. It can't be, and then she's like, well, maybe you did have too much money. I said, I didn't. I said, but I don't have to provide that per the contract that you have to fill out when you're basically filing out your claim to request aid. I said, that's not in there. Y'all can't ask for that. I said, you can't get that microscopic. I said, you have accountability for every penny that went to my home. And then she starts realizing I've got her in one. So she's like, oh, well, we'll appeal this. We'll appeal this. Just something could have gone wrong. We'll appeal this. You think? And I said, I find it funny that you would want to see people's bank accounts and tell them that their bank account's too high. I said, it is insinuate that you're telling me to go spend money. I said, which you should never be telling people that need benefits they need to spend money. You should be helping them learn how to save money because they have such limited funds. I said, so I'm concerned that while I'm sitting here and trying to hang on to pennies in case I have an emergency or I have a health issue, I'm going to have that held against me because I'm being responsible. But my neighbors that have had so many felony convictions I can't imagine and are still getting benefits somehow and get every benefit known to man. Extra spending, cash, phones, food money, insurance. They get everything. Why? How do I know that? Because she talks louder than I don't know what. And she gets picked up to go to these classes because she says it makes her money. I know what she's doing. They get everything. They wear nicer clothes than me. They have more cash in their hand than me. I'm retired because of my health. I'm disabled and retired because of my health. Barely kicking it. About left the world this last week, y'all. Y'all are lucky to have me here. And because I'm responsible enough to say there's an extra $1, don't spend it, keep it. I can't get help with Medicaid state. But if I got $70 manicures, got my hair done every week, and bought those fancy earbuds and fancy phones, and they just didn't know where that money was going, but I did it to please myself, then they made it sound like I would have got the insurance. So are we rewarding people for bad behaviors? You think? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? And I did. I was not nice. She said, well, ma'am, what do you think we need to do to rectify this? I said, I don't know. Tell Hunter to take a break from the crack whores and give me some money to pay for some of these insurance bills. That'd be nice. So I had to appeal everything. What it comes down to is they don't really have a reason to deny me. They're trying to deny me to further me from it because I've caught them in an oopsie. I've caught them in an oopsie where they're keeping something on the federal platform to get federal funds, but they were not putting them on the global platform to pay out for those funds they're saying they're offering. So they got to keep the money, and I didn't cost them anything because I didn't know I had the insurance. Ta-da! Imagine how many thousands of people this is happening to that don't know. They thought that they were terminated, but they've been held on the federal manifesto, but you're not on the billable level. So the doctors don't know, your providers don't know, and you're paying out of pocket for insurance while Medicaid's getting money to have you on their roster. And here's the funny thing. If they can say that you created that scenario, they can say that you are the criminal. Oh, I'm sorry. Criminals don't normally create an issue and then spend $6,000 because I spent $6,000 on premiums last year. I'm a really bad criminal. Really bad criminal. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But it does make sense for them to put me on their federal manifesto, get federal funds, but not ever have to pay out for me, and they get a pocket that. Where does it go at the end of the year? I've called the comptroller's office. I've called the TBI fraud tipsters hotline. I have called I've called 4 or 5 state offices, and I've called 2 federal offices. Everybody agrees it sounds kitschy as crap. Something's wrong. That doesn't sound legit. It doesn't sound legal. We don't know where to report it to. Isn't it funny how these federal programs, these federal funded programs, have no oversight? And when you try to say, hey, there's a problem, I think something's going wrong here, you can't report it to anybody to fix it or repair it. And so the lady that was helping me said she was going to fix the payment between Aetna and Medicaid. I'm not allowed to talk to her anymore per the notes in the system because she was going to fix the issue, and she was very nice. I'm not allowed to talk to her anymore. And every time I specifically request someone that's already talked to me to help me with that issue, they hang up on me. They swear they're not doing that on purpose. I've been hung up on like 11 times now in 2 weeks. Now, 11 times in 2.5 weeks when you're calling 1-800 numbers is weird. Weird because they have all these people that are just supposed to be waiting to talk to you, but no, but everybody hangs up on me. I'd never been hung up on before with this agency. Now I've been hung up on like, oh my Jesus. See, you see the same thing. She says, oh yeah, I would have to wait for an appointment at the food stamp office and see people come in with gold chains, their fingernails done. Yeah. $100 shoes on. Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, y'all, I'm just trying to make ends meet. Like, we are poor. You know, we're content. We somehow make the ends meet, but we're poor. And so when my health gave, you know, I was happy that Medicaid at first wanted to step in and help me. I thought, well, yay, thank you. This is going to help me so much. I did not know it was going to turn into this. But now that I know that they're playing this game with so many people where, oh, we tell you don't have it. We tell you we kicked you, but we hold you on the federal platform so we get federal funding for you, but we don't put you on the bill platform where we're paying out money because you don't know you have it. I don't trust them. I don't trust them as far as I can spit. And it's like, why do I feel like I have a target on my back? Why is this happening to me? It's, you know, it's just like, hey, okay, I understand you made a clerical error last year. Let's just rectify it and take responsibility and fix it and go on. But they're acting like a third grader and hanging up and dodging my calls and not letting, don't let her talk to her. She'll actually rectify the situation and then we'll be out money. Don't let her talk to her. And it's just like, I want to resolve this. I need to know if I do absolutely have to pay $700 for insurance a month, or if I am applicable, which I know I am, for the Medicaid option. But what pisses me off is they didn't just stop my Medicaid, then they said, well, we're going to stop your Medicare savings plan too, which added that extra $164 a month onto my Medicare that I have to pay back. And it's like, stop. I don't have this money. Stop. I know I'm applicable. I know I'm within the range of eligibility financially. And I'm just like, are you mad at me because I found out that you were doing something illegal? Hey, parole officer, retired parole officer, lots of people do illegal shit. Just fix it. Take responsibility and go on. No, we're going to make it your problem, Miss Waters. Oh, God. Like, I need a cape at this point. I could be Wonder Woman. Like, I feel like I'm taking on the world. I'm getting really upset with it. They're running a show. They're running a show. And I even called Medicare and federal agencies. I was like, who do I report this to? Ma'am, that's illegal as heck, but we don't know who to report it to. Of course not. There's no oversight. There's no oversight. So basically what I was told by the operator today was to ditch the money in my bank, hide it somewhere, go spend it on just irrelevant, frivolous things because you need to be broke to suck on my tit. And I'm like, I really don't want to suck. I would just like a sip to help me get through. Not looking to latch on for very long. Just a little bit of help. No, you must be my child and rest your head in my bosom and rely solely upon me. And it's like, no, I wasn't not here for that. Not here for that. You know, I get no aid. Get no aid. That was the only aid I was getting. And that's fine. I don't care to work for what we have. And if we made good money, I would much rather have the Aetna that I had to pay for because they were really great to me. I just can't afford that every month. It's just like, I'm terminal and I'm going to kill my husband in the process of me being terminal because he's trying to take care of me. And it's just, and you see everyone else walking around with $150 jeans and $100 shoes and $70 nails, and they don't know how to save money, but they get all the help they want. And I'm like, if they allow people to lie, why do they hate people to tell the truth and are actually applicable? Like, I'm having a really big issue with this one, y'all. Really big. Yeah, I know. They got mad at me when I paid my vehicle off and asked me if I was going to go buy another one. I said, no, I'm going to roll this one until it dies. And they're like, well, we can take off money if you have a car payment. Well, yeah, but then I have to pay a car payment. Sorry, that doesn't sound good to me. Whether or not you might give me, a little bit extra cushion for my insurance, I don't care. I don't want to pay a car payment. But if you're irresponsible and spend your money on frivolous stupidity, as long as you look broke and you want to latch onto the government, they'll let you have a tit. Just don't ask them to be responsible and acknowledge their mistakes, because then they get mad and they won't answer your phone calls and they put nasty notes in your profile and they won't let you talk to the customer service reps that actually help. So I'm literally trying to report this everywhere. I don't know how else to handle this. Even Aetna can't get hold of them to work out the logistics on the payments that should have been paid by Medicaid that Aetna had to pay because we didn't know I had Medicaid, because Medicaid put me on the billable platform. But they wanted those federal dollars. So I'm just like, I'm at a loss. Yeah, I'm denied because I'm a spendthrift. I'm denied because I'm responsible. I'm denied because I understand money and I know that I need to hang on to it for emergency purposes. I can't have $70 nails if I don't have the income to justify $70 nails. I can't have $150 jeans and $100 shoes if I don't have the income to justify that. And because I have that I guess, normalcy about me to say I have to be responsible for myself, and I'm not willing to jump right in, I guess, become a Democratic voter and suck on the government's tit. They won't help me with this. They won't help me with this. And I've never had such belligerence in my life. See? Sly Fox, she should. That is absolutely See? And if you don't rattle the cage, you don't get the answers. You need to understand this. And I want to know. Yes, I pay a fortune in taxes. I pay taxes my whole freaking life. And it's like, hello? Responsible citizen that got hurt at work would still be working 80 hours a week if I hadn't got hurt and developed this issue. I would really rather work. But my body likes to kill me every 6 weeks. Case in point, last week I almost bit it a couple times. I'm on such a horrible antibiotic. That's why I'm so swollen and I look so bad. This antibiotic's really tough for me. I'm just absolutely flabbergasted at the treatment and how stupid the people I've talked to at this agency have been. They don't understand their platform. They don't understand their computer programming. They don't understand their software. They don't understand their system. They don't understand the guidelines. They don't understand anything, but they're there to help you. Well, if you can't tie your shoe, you can't help someone run a marathon. And it's just kind of like, how helpful are you? Let's think about this. And the other woman was like, I don't have any ideas how to rectify this. I said, somebody dropped me 2 miles from the border and I'll just walk back and become an illegal and I'll get everything. I'll get an apartment till my court date, which is 3 years plus at this moment. I'll get free food. I'll get free rent. I'll get a free phone, tablets, internet, school, healthcare. They're getting everything. Like, they're living better in our nation as a siphon than we live as people that pay for this nation. And so I'm just really frustrated. I'm just really frustrated. I am there with you. I want America to be America again. I'm done with it. The ones that make the rules are certainly not financial advisors. Amen. Kim, it's horrible. It's horrible. And the thing is they're violating their own eligibility standards. And it's like, you can look all this up. And so I look all this up and I have questions right now. My questions, I call back and they get very aggravated with me because my questions actually cause pitfalls in their story guidelines. But now, since they give me 2 separate reasons why I was denied, I'm sorry, it should be one reason stated. It shouldn't flex. It shouldn't be, well, if you talk to her, it's going to be this. If you talk to her, it's going to be no, this is not a subjective thing. This has to be objective. And so I'm really irritated right now. Really want to just like bust a wall out of this house irritated. Y'all, when I get mad, if I had a baseball bat and a good body, I'd do some damage. But it's just like, this is wrong. This is illegal. You're lying. If that's the reason I've been denied, then you need to default and go back and appeal that and review it, because then that's not legit. I said, that's inappropriate. I said, that's not, I said, because I finished that 3 times verbally online on recorded lines with 3 different operators. And I said, the third one guaranteed me it was then logged in the system. And she didn't know why the previous 2 couldn't be found. Well, now the third one can't be found. So guess what? Guess we know somebody was hitting delete. We're going to delete this bitch too. Delete. And so I'm like, excuse me. No, ma'am. I did this 3 times, the last day of which was 4/13. So I am a burr under the saddle pad right now. And I'm going to keep, and she's like, well, you just need to go to your local office. And I'm like, lady, and it has to be like a regional office. I'm like, lady, that's 3 hours away. Ain't gonna happen. And they keep putting these little parameters, these little pitfalls in. And I'm like, no. Nope. I'm disabled. You must do it all on the phone. And then she's like, and I'm like, yeah, I know the federal rights I have. So, yeah, they have a clothing allotment. They put on a card for people too. My neighbors get it. And I'm like, they've never even had a job. Never even had a job. Never even had a job. Live better than I do. Worked my whole life. That's part of the reason I'm disabled. I worked in very high-risk jobs and got attacked with an axe, which started the downfall of my body and neuromuscular system. So it's just like, have a little bit of sincerity for the people that actually footed the bill for this nation. Do what you're going to do. Follow the rules. And if you have a contract, follow the contract. And don't back out and give ridiculous reasonings for people when they know you're lying. And I told him, I said, I'm just a hair's breadth away from getting an attorney. I said, I will find one eventually. I said, because I know this is not legal. And I said, what bothers me is if you're doing it to me, how many people that don't have my mouth, my brain, my education, and my notorious appetite to tell you you're wrong, how many people are being treated this way that deserve these benefits that just don't know their rights or don't know that this is not right? And this why the federal programs are set up, so that they can put people on the roster, not put them on the billable level, reap the federal rewards, but extend none of the common courtesy they get for having those federal benefits. It's just like, come on. Do what you said you're going to do. It's not that difficult. I don't have a stroke online. I'm not going to have a stroke online. I'm just irritated right now. Oh, the DMV. Oh, Lord, don't even get me started. Those doctors and their notes are getting horrible. No, you can't count on anything. So I'm still in my pajamas. I haven't brushed my hair. I have no makeup. I'm still swollen. I'm still dealing with antibiotic. I'm still dealing with my kidney issues. I'm better. It's a slow crawl at getting over this one. I'm just not gonna lie. Today has been, I think I felt better yesterday, but I could tell that my antibiotics like kicking stuff out today more, and so I'm hurting more today. But I'll get through it. But I'm very frustrated that when there are parameters set to give people the black or white, and then they get stuck in the gray, I'm going to complain every time. I'm going to complain every time. Well, Denise, I don't deal with those. I actually went through a Medicare advisory business. They're not for profit, but they help you. They have experts. And so I immediately went through there because I didn't want to fall into that pitfall. So I went through a Medicare advisory place that helped you find the best deal for your health issues and stuff. And they were very sweet, and they did. Like, Aetna's been great to me. And I really, if I had the money, I would rather pay and have the better treatment, because Aetna treats me like a human being, and I have to fight with everything through Medicaid. It's horrible. But now that I know that they're just making up things out of thin air, I'm hanging on for dear life. I'm going to be the bagger lost from hell. I'm going to be stuck asking questions every day until I figure this one out. Because they should have been able to have told me if I was over the limit, which I'm not. They should have been able to tell me to the penny how much we were over the limit. Got nothing, got none of those, nothing. And they didn't give me really any substantial evidence that I didn't provide all the necessary information. And when I called, they said it was the bank receipt. But then the second time I called, they said, oh, no, it was the questionnaire. I did the questionnaire orally with the freaking representative 3 times. 3 times. So, I will. Oh yeah, Ned, I don't pay full price for anything. I'm a thrifter. I will search the internet for the best price and then wait, because even that's too much. I'm one of those. And literally, it's like everything we get is like, it's always has to be shipped because we're so far in the middle of nowhere. And so if I kind of look at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, that would be nice to have. But if I can wait for 3 days for it to get here, do I really need it? Probably not. And so I will literally not buy anything. I'm horrible I'm that way. I'm that way. So, but now where I'm paying insurance stuff, and, I don't know how long we can make it. And it's like, did you just do this to wear me down and to break me so that then you could laugh at me when I finally am broke and you have to accept me? I mean, that just seems malproductive, but, whatever. Well, there you go. Sometimes you can find a deal at those thrift shops in the Goodwill. I love Goodwill. We don't have one locally, but there's one down the hill about an hour away. It's a pretty decent one. I don't get there very much because of my health, but we have some really good consignment and thrift shops up here. But I'm telling you, if you have somebody that's going through this with their state insurance, the Medicaid that's offered by states, be very aware. If they've told you in the last year that you're terminated, but you've not received any, literally call them and ask. Because it seems like a lot of people are being retroactively kicked back on, not told. So they're getting federal money, but they're not putting you on the billable platform, so your providers don't know, and they're billing the person that you bought insurance through because you thought you were kicked. The bottom line should not always be money. This was a program specifically set in place to help people like me that live in BFE, that are rural, that are poor, and when you have something happen in life that takes away your ability to work, and I would much rather be working. This house feels like a jail some days, but those are just those 1 or 2 things that you're supposed to be able to count on, and now you can't even count on it if they don't like you, or if you notice what they're doing, and then you get backlash, and they start changing the reason why you're not applicable. No. And they asked me that questionnaire. I said, I've done this 3 times. And I said, I feel like y'all are trying to entrap me in something. I said, but there's only one answer to these questions, and that's the truth. And that's what I'm telling you. I said, so my answers are not going to change. And that was the lady that said, oh, yeah, we've got it. It's finally on the system. You're good. We've got it. Funny how they finally had it on the system when I said that. But then, oh, look, it's not there now. And that they said that's the reason that I was not found applicable. I did not provide all the information. I said, every phone call y'all get is recorded. I know because I listened to the little thing that says this is being recorded for training purposes. I said, every phone call I make is logged onto my personal profile. I said, you should be able to pull all that crap up. And I said, I did 3 phone calls, 3 different days, because it was not in there, and every operator put me through again. So finally the third lady said, yes, it is on the system. I have it. So I'm just frustrated, but I want y'all to be aware, because when I find these things out, I want to tell other people, so that if other people are going through this, they're like, oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's an issue. Oh, red flag. Oh, I need to call somebody. And you bet your sweet baby I'm going to be calling Jesus and everybody until I figure this out, because something is wrong here. And I'm not nice. The woman said, well, how are you paying your insurance right now? I said, I have a little saved. I said, apparently I'm a big spender. I said, but I don't know what I'm going to do beyond a couple months. I said, maybe Hunter could take a break from his crack whores and loan me some money. He has like $30 billion. She didn't like that. But I mean, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. We are rewarding the wrong people in this nation. We are rewarding people that have never worked, that are coming here and not being profitable, or not even being just good citizens. They're not even citizens. We're rewarding the wrong type of people. I'm wrong. I am. But we're not rewarding the people that worked at hard jobs, at dangerous jobs, and got hurt. And here we are. I kept my community safe for over a decade from murderers and convicted felons. And the thanks I get when something tragic happens to me is, you're not applicable, sorry. What little bit of money you did get, you have to spend all of it just to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed with medical debt, and you live in fear the rest of your life that you're going to get overwhelmed with medical debt. So while we add on the stress and make your health worse, we just want you to know we care for you. But we're not going to put you on the billable platform, but we're still going to say you're on our roster so we get those federal dollars. But you can't access them. That's for us. See, we've got this backdoor program and a laundromat. I'm sick of it. It's the most... I'm sorry. I would rather live in Uganda right now, because at least I think they have an ethics criteria there. So I'm very frustrated, but if you know anybody else this is happening to, be very aware. Apparently this is a new shtick. Yeah, and that's why when I had that Plan G, I paid for the expensive one in case I had any big issues, because I normally get hospitalized a few times a year. I've been lucky the last couple of years. But that way, David wouldn't have to have a huge burden on his shoulders if I got admitted to the hospital or had to have some big surgery or something. It would be paid for. I would pay the highest premium, so everything was paid for. And I just thought that's the best way out of this. And if I had the cash, that would be the best thing to do, because that insurance treated me better. But it's not something that I can maintain. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to keep on him. I'm going to figure this out. They say they don't do spin downs anymore. And I said, why don't you do spin downs anymore? I said, my husband's got like $11,000 in medical debt from his kidneys. I said, one of them, was over 100 times what the other hospital billed for the same thing. I said, so we know one was billed inappropriately. Duh. I'm contesting that right now. But it's just like they get to bill whatever they want. They just get to pull a number out of their hind end and stick it to you, and you're stuck. I mean, imagine the fear of people running around that actually have to take care of themselves. The fear of us running around that have bills that come back, and we're just living in terror, wondering what that percentage is going to be, or how much it's going to cost us in premiums to not have to worry about a percentage. And then you worry about the payment for the premiums. And I was supposed to be giving back. Like, my hand didn't work right then. Did you see me smack myself? My hands are off today. I was supposed to be giving back all my money I spent in premiums, because I shouldn't have ever bought a Plan G, but they made an error and didn't notify me I was put back on. So I was supposed to get my premiums back, and they were supposed to work with Aetna and rebill everything and pay Aetna back. And now the lady that started that process, I cannot find. They will not let me talk to. I know her number, but they say it's in the notes that I'm not allowed to speak to her. Why would you not let me speak to somebody who's actually trying to resolve the scenario? Obviously, you don't want resolution. So I'm very frustrated. Yep. And they and there's supposed to be like a no surprise bill act that took effect last year. But a lot of people don't know. And so if you keep getting surprise bills, you can actually call the provider and be like, listen, there's this no surprise act and this no balance billing act. You can't pull this crap. Well, David's ER bill that he had in October was like $15,000. We owed like $6,500. And we paid that down substantially, but they still want to throw it to collections. I refuse. And the collections agent says I'm responsible for him, but the hospital still is accepting payments through the portal. I'm not paying both of y'all. Y'all both can't assume a debt, so who's lying? And I finally said last month, screw both of y'all, take me to court. Because when he went the second time and got the same treatment at the other hospital, that bill was $610, like $611. It's under $620. And David showed them the bill from the other hospital, and they were like, you need to report that. Well, what it was in January of that next year, they started the no surprise and no balance billing, to where hospitals couldn't ask for every penny of your deductible. So for the year before that, that little rural hospital was billing everybody at max capacity. So what he got at the max capacity hospital, some of the stuff was 100 times the bill that we got from the other hospital. So like it was like $287 at the good hospital to push an IV medication for his kidney stones. It was over $300 at the little one down the hill for them to IV push a medication. So I'm like, take us to court. And I'm building, and there's like a Kelly Blue Book for medical stuff. It's like, tells you the average cost regions for medical stuff. And it's like Kelly Blue Book for vehicles, but it's for medical. And so I'm building a case against them about what the average cost is and how they were medical max capacity billing. So if we go to court, I can let the judge see what they're doing, because what they're doing is now illegal. It wasn't in the year that they built it, but they should. The judge should look at it and go, okay, no, there's no way the same treatment at two different hospitals can have, a $14,000 chasm. There's no way. So like the CT scan was like $8,000 down there, and it was $1,200 over there. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you just can't justify that. You can't justify that. Okay, Kim, be careful. I know, like if I said I was in a gender bender kind of headspace and struggling, I would have people kissing my butt and giving me help, and it's frustrating because that's not necessary medical care. But what I require for my disorder is, and they don't care to put me in a sling to keep me alive. Meanwhile, they're just handing out money to people that need unnecessary, involuntary, and really harmful treatment. But one fly in this house when I opened the door earlier, and it's killing me. But so now you know, if anyone else in your house is going through this, now you know something's up. I'm going to figure it out. Because it's ticked me off. It's ticked me off. It's cost me money, and it's made me mad. And I'm sorry, but when you can do it to me, that's fine. But I, in my mind, think about all the older or less educated people in this area, in this region, in Appalachia, that don't know their rights, don't know when to have that gut feeling something's wrong, and don't know how to address it. Therefore, I feel that I should address it for everybody. So by God, I am going to. I'm going to. Oh, and people are just horrible. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just like, when I was a little girl, I thought I'm going to grow up and meet all these great people in this great big world. And I'm going to have such a great life. I'm still yet to meet a whole lot of these great people. Like, I'm sorry, but the asshole list is real long and the great people list is really short. And I really thought that when I got out of these hills, I would meet like less backwards people. Oh, no. You can talk about Appalachia and say it's homogenous and people are stupid and they don't know how to accept people. But the most out of pocket I've ever felt is when I'm in cities. Because it doesn't matter how many walks of life are in that city, it's how they view your walk of life. And so if you go there and you twang, or you're from Appalachia, or you have my dialect, which is a dying dialect, and I'm very proud of it, they just demean you and look down on you and just trod on you. There is no humanitarian component to society anymore. We foobarred that one a long time ago. And now people can get treatment because they think they're a dog. But I'm sorry, I need help to manage my neuromuscular disorders like MS. But no, you can't. No, you can't help me. Oh, because I didn't send in a piece of paper to remind you I had done that questionnaire 3 times with your representatives. I mean, you got to wonder how smart these people are they're hiring. Well, that's what Medicaid and Medicare really do. They're really a land recoup, because if you go on certain programs, then they have the right after you pass away and after your family in the home passes away to take the home. Well, joke's on them. My home ain't worth much. I don't live on material things. I have a very small place. I have a very small home, very simple. It's not worth a lot of money. If they think they're going to make money off this place, by God, go right ahead, try it. I will watch from above and laugh at you, because it ain't going to happen. But they are a land recoup. They say they're helping you, but we're in the same position with Granny right now, because she gets hospice treatment. My mom's got her living with her, but Granny's land that's in her name is standing. Mom can't do anything with it because it legitimately has to go to the state. My Granny just turned 92. We know she's not going to be with us much longer. If Mama can't sell it and Granny can't live so many years after the sale, then it will still revert to the state, and then Mom will have to pay back the state. So she's just letting us sit, because she knows she's going to sign it over to the state. And Mom's like, is this worth it? And I'm like, well, it's like $40,000 of property, Mama, but you're going to get like $250,000 worth of care on Granny. So, and you do what you got to do. But it's a land grab. Yeah, Annette, yeah. The good people, the good, solid people are invisible. We are not what this nation represents anymore. Not at all. Not at all. Just like that lady told me I had too much money to make, I need to go spend money. Someone that is that close to the poverty line, you should never tell to spend money. You should say, hey, keep learning how to save. Keep learning about money. Keep learning how to hang on to it. Good. I would think you would want to reward the person that hangs on to the money, because they're not going to waste the benefits. Not it. They've just created this influx of people that just suck everything up, and it just whistles through them and goes on out, and they're not even grateful for it. And then the rest of us here that are, just barely clawing through life, we're watching this going, how in the crap is this being allowed to happen? Because they want it to happen. Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. Annette, it's horrible. Well, what we're going to have to do with all David's medical bills from his kidney stuff is go through a credit management, because we have no other debt, really. We live simple, but that medical debt is a whole lot of debt at once, and they all want a big piece. And I'm like, I can't pay you all that much because we don't have that much money. So I'm going to go through a credit management agency so that the credit management barters with them and get it down for pennies on the dollar. And then I pay like a $20 fee to the credit management agency a month. And then they disperse the small payments, and they lower the interest and lower the budget, the balances, so that I can more easily pay it and get it chewed up faster. They reduce the interest and all that stuff on it. So that's what I'm going to have to do since I feel like it. But I just wanted to get on here and be like, y'all, if y'all know anybody that's going through this, send them my way. Because something's going on. Something's going on. I can't find a lawyer that will look at it. I can't find any lawyer that's interested in looking at this. They're all like, I don't handle that. I don't want to get into that. I don't know. That's not anything I want to put my time on. Or we don't specialize in that. And I'm like, my God. And everybody's a freaking public defender around here because everybody's poor. So if they're a public defender, they're not allowed to do certain things. So it's, and I can't find an attorney. I've called ways off from here and I still can't find an attorney. But there is something here because they're all going, yeah, that's not right. I know it's not right. That's why I'm calling attorneys. Well, I have sent some messages to some of the bigwigs, so I'm hoping that I get some feedback. Yeah, because I know district attorneys. I know retired district attorneys. I know retired judges. I mean, I know lots of people, and they're all looking at me going, that's not right, Elizabeth. You need to find somebody. I'm trying to find somebody. How about giving me some goddamn help? Well, Cindy, they just left Granny's house sitting because, Mama knows it's, they're going to take it. But, I mean, what can you do? They put you in a position. I mean, it really isn't a benefit because they really do take everything, that you work your life to create. But joke's on them. I don't care about this little stamp of land. It's not worth that much. Joke's on them. Now, if I had a home, a family home, or a multifamily home, or an estate, yeah, that would be different. But I don't. But I'm really wondering how people driving 2023 goddamn four-wheel drive vehicles that have been modified are on welfare. And I'm sitting here just trying to survive, and I'm not. So frustrating. I have no problem paying for everything out of pocket that I can. I take pride in it. But I know I'm applicable for the Medicaid. And I know that I won't be able to maintain the Aetna at the rate that they have me at for very long with added Medicare on top of it. So it's just like, no, I'm not going to play anymore. Y'all review that crap. And she was like, well, we didn't make any mistakes. You made a mistake because you gave me 2 reasons why I was denied. And neither of them are binding under the contract that is that application. So I need you to give me a true reason that if we have to stand up in court is going to hold water. Because I think that's where we're headed. And then their mode changed. So I do have it in active appeal. It's still ending on the 30th, and so I still have to pay for Aetna on the 1st. Watch them go back and retroactively reinstate me, and we end up in this whole butt-kissing... I just don't even want to think about it. But y'all, this is what happens when stupid people run the world. Greedy people run the world. And people that don't understand that they are responsible. Do your job. Do it well. You're responsible. This is what happens when we don't have the upper echelon doing their best work. This is what happens. This is what happens. I mean, what can you say? This is what happens. So, ladies, if you're getting food stamps and Medicaid and welfare and what is it, Children's First or something other, where they give you clothes money, allotments, and you're getting $70 manicures and wearing $200 jeans and driving a Hummer 3, screw you, because that's not the life you're supposed to be living. Have some decency about yourself. Cut your expenditure down. Look at what you're doing with your money. Be appropriate. Don't lie to people when you request benefits. And don't have 5 children with 5 different men so you can have 5 different case numbers. Which is another thing I'm saying. I'm getting irritated. And while we're at it, can we get the baked potato behind the podium out of office? That would be great. That would be great. It would help me out so much. Thank you. That's where I'm at, y'all. I'm so frustrated. Because America is no longer accountable. Now, if you can lie or you can create up a manifesto of why you're a victim or you're oppressed or you're marginalized, you can get out of anything. You can get out of anything, even if you're a federal funded program that's there to do exactly what I'm asking you to do. You can get out of anything. Toss an extra few up for me. I am feeling better. I'm to the point where the antibiotic is really pushing through my kidneys, but they're working better and I'm functioning better. And I'm still just sleeping a lot, resting a lot. I'll have a good day and then I'll have a couple of days the antibiotic really makes me sick. And then I'll have a good day. And this has been a rough one, y'all. It's been a rough one. But I had over 10 pounds of fluid somehow with my RSD latch onto me and about shut my body down. And so I'm being watched very closely right now. And I shed like 11 pounds of fluid in a week. And now I feel better, but my doctor's like freaked out. My kidneys I passed a couple of stones. Like it really foobarred my kidneys with all that fluid and all that pressure. And so we don't know if I had something wrong, which is why my body swelled, or if my RSD caused the swelling, which caused the body issues. We don't know, like chicken and egg, which came first. I don't know. But this disorder is just, I hate it. I hate it because I was doing so good and then boom, now I'm down again and I have to like reestablish my entire life. It's horrible. Honey and garlic's great. Honey and garlic is great. Turmeric's great. Irish sea moss is supposed to be great. Black seed oil. You name it. I've taken it, take it periodically, but we don't know what caused the big fluid hiccup this time, so we're just going to have to watch me super close and make sure my body doesn't do it again. And I'm still puffy, as y'all can tell, but I'm much better than I was. Much better. Like right through here, I'm so much better than I was, so. Sam, I'm kicking, but I tell you what, I think my lot in life is just to find all the problems in this nation. And I have to talk about them because they're not right. They're created. They're manufactured. And so I'm frustrated, but I'll get through it. But I'm just saying, if you know somebody's going through what I've just explained, put us in contact with each other, because I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with people being treated like this. I'm not okay with these federal programs running like this. I'm not okay with there being no oversight. I'm not okay with there being nowhere to report this. I'm not okay with the comptroller's office, their insurance fraud division, or the TBI not returning phone calls when you have these issues. Hello, I pay your salary. Give me 5 minutes of your time. So it's frustrating for me, but most of all, I think a lot of Americans just need to stand up and say, I'm over it. I'm over it. I've catered to everyone else for 10 years. Now shut up and let's all live together. And we all have to look out for each other. It doesn't just go one way. That street that you want to pave straight to your door, it has to come to mine too. So share, and I just don't think we're doing a very good job. But that's the problem I ran into. Yeah, ginger tea is really good. Ginger is great. But that's the problem I'm running into. And I'm just frustrated. And I just wanted to get in here and say, y'all be aware. Heads up. I mean, they've got to find a way to save money somehow, because they're taking in all these new people. So I guess we're going to be the call. That's what it seems like to me. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight this, because I know it's not just. I know it's not appropriate. I know it's not how this is supposed to work. And I'm going to talk about this and tell everybody about this, because everybody needs to be aware. So that's what I'm going to do. But right now I'm going to go lay down because I'm tired. I just had way too much adrenaline go through my system. But anything that you can say, the closer to nature you can stay, I think the better. So that's kind of where I am on that too. But this last week I have, and y'all know me in antibiotics. It's not a good relationship with antibiotics anyway, but when I have to be on a really strong one, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. So pray for me, send up some good vibes, because I've had a really tough week and I really feel like crap. But I'm getting through this a day at a time. And as sick as I was, I'm doing great to just be like Friday. I was at the doctor and was rough. So I'm doing great, but I keep having to remind myself it's only been 3 or 4 days. You need more time, Elizabeth, because I don't give myself a lot of time to bounce back. So I'm having to remind myself that I'm doing well for the number of days out that I am. And I still have several more days of antibiotics, so I'm going to have some rough days, because that is really whipping my system. It's pushing everything out. So I'm going to have some rough days. I'll get through it. But I just wanted you to know what I found out. I find out the most odd things because I have to go through it. But it just makes me wonder who else is going through this that shouldn't have to be. And why? Why are we doing this to good people? Why are we fueling criminals' lives and lifestyles, and the good people are being really suffocated? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we rewarding people that are not responsible, and we're punishing people who are? Why are we doing this? Seems counterproductive. So just be aware this is occurring. It's occurring to me. Not happy about it. And watch those of your loved ones that, if they're applicable for Medicaid or they have Medicaid, tip them off. Let them know. Watch for this to occur, and be aware. Know your rights. Understand everything about whatever benefit you're trying to access, and know your rights and know the numbers. Have a list of numbers to call, and document everything. I mean, everything. It helps. Because then they can't lie. They can't come back and lie, because you have like a screenshot of the phone calls and they can't lie. So just be careful and know this is occurring. And, I try to wake up every day and be a better person than I was yesterday. I'm going to totally give myself a week off from that, because I'm just going to be a turd for the next few days. I'm not applicable. I'm not applicable for any benefits. The only thing I'm applicable for because of my health is the Medicaid and the Medicare savings plan. And that's fine. That's more than enough help for me. That's great. Everything else I'll take care of. That's fine. But when you know you're applicable and you know you're within the guidelines, you know you're financially within the guidelines, and then they start lying to you and giving you multiple reasons why you were denied, something's wrong. Nobody gives you the same answer. They can just make up all their own. Something's wrong. So I'm going to figure this out, and when I figure it out, I'll let you know. But I'm going to have to monitor my behavior in public, because if I see somebody with $70 nails get out an EBT card, I may drag out a soapbox and go to preaching. Yes, Everybody, that's a really good recipe. It's really great for immune system. It's great in the winter time, especially if you feel any kind of cold coming on. Get in there and eat a couple of those. Eat them, and you'll feel better. You might smell like a Italian pizzeria for a day or two, but you'll feel better. So I am frustrated. Now, if I had just a little bit more money, I would pay for Aetna because Aetna really has treated me well. I can't fault them in any way. They've been great to me. I would rather have Aetna, but I can't afford it long term. I can't afford it. So my back's up against the wall. And that's a dangerous place to be. And I'm trying to make these people aware of how they're making other people feel and the what they're creating emotionally, energetically. But the customer service representatives I've spoken to have less knowledge of the programs they're saying that you can or can't access than I do, because I went online and read about them. And so I'm running into customer service reps that I'm answering their questions. We should all be scared. Should all be scared. So anybody knows a good lawyer, let me know. I'm over this. I'm completely over this. So talk to your loved ones. Keep your eyes out. And y'all, be good to people. Our communities need to be linked, to have physical relationships to where we see each other. We're tangible. We're not just people in a little box like this. We're actually tangible people in the community. We matter. If we can get back to where people matter, that physical person, that we're responsible, we're accountable, our behavior has to go before them. We have physical relationships. If we can get back to that in this nation, we'll be good. But if we keep playing this, I am in a box and I can be whatever I want to be and rough meow, no. No. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. It's not working. It's not working. All right, I'm done, and I will see y'all next time. I can't even hang up.